Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Can we talk with Monique? I am Monique. Thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to give me a thumbs up and click that little bell. That way you'll be notified of all my upcoming podcasts. And also that lets YouTube know that you're interested in what I have to say. So as you can see, this is a follow-up on the narcissistic religious individuals, right? Narcissistic religious, how could I put it? Just narcissistic religious individuals, be it pastors, priests, whomever. But this gentleman right here is Kenneth Copeland, and he is the overseer and the pastor over a church in, I think it is in Texas. And it came to my attention that he essentially had a message for his parishioners during this time that, we are in quarantine and a lot of people have lost their jobs. And I want you to listen to this recording, and then we'll talk about it when I get back. So take a listen. Hold on for a minute. Let me cue it up. Hold on. Here we go.
Hey, your job's not your source. If it is, you're in trouble. Jesus is your source. Whatever you do right now, don't you stop tithing. Don't you stop sowing offerings. Well, they won't let us go to church. Well, email it in there, text and give or something, but you get your tithe in that church. If you have to go take it down there and drop it off and stick it under the door or something, you get that tithe in that church, you get that offering in that church, and then you go home and you do what we're supposed to do.
Okay, so that was the recording, and basically he essentially was telling his parishioners that Jesus, that the Lord is their source, and that they should, even though 10 million people have been laid off and don't know, like many Americans, they live from paycheck to paycheck and hand to mouth, as grandma used to say. Even though, despite that, he basically said, look, I don't care if you WhatsApp it, PayPal it, Zelle it, any type of means or ways that you can get that money in, I don't care. And then if you can't text it in, text to pay, then you should bring it down and stick it up underneath the door. And I just thought that was so irresponsible, but so fitting to show that a lot of these, now what does this have to do with narcissism? There are religious narcissists. There are all walks of life, all colors and creeds. And this just shows you the play, the finessing that they do to finesse people out of their money, to emotionally abuse them, to use something like their religion and their love for God or Jesus, because he said Jesus is your source. Now, there are some people who it's going to pull in their heartstrings. There's some people who look up to a lot of these individuals, and they feel that they're in a position of authority, and these individuals know that. And so they use and abuse that position of authority, but also when people are at their most vulnerable position, and that's another time when a narcissist or a toxic person or a sociopath will strike, they will use a situation and when a person is most vulnerable to prey on them. And to me, this is equivalent to preying. I don't know this man, but I think it is just egregious and disgusting that you would prey on people. And he was talking to his parishioners all around the world. I'd had to do a little research because I didn't know this man from a can of paint. And it came to my attention that he is rated the top evangelist. Now, I don't know if that's rated on he's rated one of the top 5 evangelists in the world. And I don't know if it's rating them on their preaching or skills or their capability. I think it was rated based on how much money they made, and his net worth of what we know of is $760 million. So someone who lives in from what I can tell on the internet, $6 million lakefront home and is worth $760 million, He just basically told people to hell or high water, whatever their last bit of money to, Cash App it, PayPal it, Zelle it, WhatsApp it, whatever kind of way you got to get the money in, you needs to get it in. And then on top of that, if you can't get it in, put it in the envelope, put it in a Ziploc bag, and then put your name on it and put it under our door. It's like, seriously, who does that? But why is this important, and what does this have to do with narcissism? Well, narcissists, all their masks are slipping. People who are narcissists, when there used to be a time where they wanted to kind of hide it and didn't want people to know who they really are, I think this quarantine is turning into a situation where it's turned into a situation where people are no longer hiding who they are. Their masks are slipping. They're letting you know who they are. They're letting you know the type of people that they are and what they really truly represent. And it's hard for them to kind of finagle, the way they normally would with the pop and circumstance, with the choir and the lights and all of that. So now they just got to come in and be like, look, send us your money. We need your loot. We need it now, and however you can get it to us, we gonna take it. And it's just like, seriously. But it lets you see on the forefront of not only, everything from the rooter to the tutor, from the top to the bottom, the masks are slipping and people are really coming out and letting people know who they are. And at a time, like I said, this is the MO of a lot of these individuals. It is when you're at your most vulnerable state. And then they'll use something like religion. Oh, well, if you really believe in God, you're still sending your tithes. Well, they may not have it. They might still have their faith, but they just may not have it to give. But some people, unfortunately, will be finessed, will feel guilty, will feel like, I really need to do this, and they will, and that's a crying shame. So it shows you how, the narcissists now are not, they're going all out, they're pulling all the punches. Like I said, they don't have the pop in circumstance. They can't move and shuck and jive and do like they normally do. So they have to just, some of them are just letting it all hang out, and they're like, look, I am who I am, and I'm going to do what I do. And if finessing, money out of you is what we do or what they do, then they will do it. Bottom line. So, but what, like I said, I did an upload on the religious narcissist before. And this is just bringing credence to that, supporting the fact that these people at any time or the worst time in the history of mankind, they are telling you, send in your tithes, whatever you do, send in your tithes. It's like, it is so disgusting, but this is how they roll. And then I went online and did a little more research, and from what I can see, he basically had a meeting with his board and said that the God or the Lord or whoever he worships or, answers to, told him that he needed to raise $300 million this year. You heard what I said, $300 million. I don't know for what, for the church or whatever he's doing, but he said that the Lord told him he needs to raise $300 million. So I guess that is in line with him saying you need to send in your tithes. No matter what, you need to bring your tithes in here. So it's just egregious. It's not even funny. It's just like these people are getting pressed and they don't have their normal, environment of which they operate. See, typically they could, finagle it or go an opposite way or, cry on TV or do all type of stuff. And they can't do their normal, finagling. They can't do the normal buffoonery. So they got to get on, they got to come straight to the horse's mouth. Before you get those stimulus checks, I guess he had to put his bid in before y'all paid your bills or before y'all took care of your families. He put his bid in first before anybody else. He has a lot of nerve, but this is what these people do. So Mr. Kenneth Copeland, he said y'all need to send your tithes in. Don't stop tithing. Send it in by pigeon, by helicopter, however you going to send your tithes in. Do not stop. Irregardless of your financial situation, irregardless if you can't pay your rent, irregardless if you You got some medical bills. You know, you trying to get tested for COVID-19. He said, no, send your money in. So it's a shame that these individuals will do that without any. Did he look like he was remorseful? He was serious. He was dead serious. He was not playing. He was not joking. He was telling you he still want that money flow to keep coming in. Because a lot of times people, I'm just going to keep it 100. And I'm not knocking anybody's faith. But a lot of times people get moved by the experience being in the church or the hall or wherever you are, and that music and them lights start going and people start singing and doing all this stuff, and it moves people emotionally. And right after you sing and dance and, you know, catch the Holy Ghost, they pass that pellet tray around. So now you done got filled with emotion. You done cried. It might be a song that your mama used to sing in church. It might be a song you used to sing yourself in church when you was yay high. And the emotion done came out. It might be the church that your family member was buried in and a little tear came to your eye. And then the pastor said, you know, the Lord loves a cheerful giver. And you went in your pocketbook and took out your money. I ain't hating on nobody. I'm just saying this is what happens. So now that they don't have the popping circumstance, they don't have the choir going and the organ going and the sister catching the Holy Ghost, the money ain't flowing like it normally would. I'm just saying. I'm going to be real with y'all. And so now the pastors got to come out and tell y'all, look, don't stop tithing. Send your money in. But I just think it's egregious that somebody would, somebody of his stature and caliber would do that. And he wasn't just talking to his parishioners in Texas. Oh, no. He was talking to all his parishioners around the globe. So we're talking on multiple countries. He's worth $760 million, and I think he's the top-rated tele-evangelist. So, yeah, guys, these masks are slipping, you know, and you got to believe people. One of the things I always say is believe people when they tell you who they are. You know, I was supposed to do an upload on narcissistic girlfriends, and I haven't done it yet, but this was an acquaintance, and one day she was like, I'm just not a good friend. I've not been good friends to people. And I heard it, and it struck me, and I went, wait a minute. Did she just say that? She basically was saying she's not a good friend, and that she's never been a good friend to people. And so you have to believe people when they tell you that. These people will tell you, show you who they are, put the mask back on, but then the mask slips off. So you got to believe people. When somebody tells you I'm not a good person, I've literally had a person that told me I'm effed up. I'm just not a good person. If somebody tells you that, you need to run, say, oh, all right, and don't ever talk to them again. Because if somebody's telling you they're not good people, they truly are not good people. They're not joking. And so if you get intertwined with somebody like that and negative circumstances happen, basically they're saying, you the fool because I told you I wasn't a good person. So it's up to you if you want to deal with me or not. But anyway, yeah, Mr. Copeland, he, you know, and just because somebody is the person of the cloth, he basically was saying, look, I still need my ducats. Put it in the pot. I still need it. Like this picture is showing, right? So because somebody is of the cloth, people look up to them. People think they are in an authoritative position, and they feel that they need to listen to what they have to say, because if they don't listen to the authoritative person, that means they're not being obedient to God. And one thing has nothing to do with the other. So that's what some people truly believe. Like if you don't listen to them or follow their guidance all the time, then you are not in alignment and you're being disobedient to God. And that is not true. That is absolutely not true. That is finessing. That's manipulative. That is just downright horrible. And this is the MO of the narcs. They come in at the most vulnerable time in history when people are dropping like flies and losing their jobs and have no means of income to finesse people and tell them still need to send them their tithes. So my question is, if they send you the tithes and they can't pay their bills, are you going to pay their bills for them? That's my question. I would like to know, like if, these folks send you their money, but yet they lose their job and they don't get their stimulus check, are you going to pay their bills for them? That's my question. And the answer is probably no. But anyway, y'all, I'm just saying, I'm not knocking anybody who has any type of religious beliefs. But again, they're not able to operate in the normal means that they've been able to operate in. They can't have the lights going and the organ going and the laser light show. All of that elicits emotion out of people. So, of course, their collection is going to be less. I'm just saying, these are facts. I know. I've been there. But anyhow, the religious narcissists, they out here. They want the money. They want you to send the tithes and offerings. Kenneth Copeland done told you. You better send that money in or else. But anyway, it's a crying shame. The mask is slipping, and we're going to continue to see masks slip because they can't keep it on. It's been, a month now? People been on quarantine. A lot of masks going to slip. I got another story I'm getting ready to do about some masks that slip. What this gentleman, and this is serious, is domestic violence. And like I said in one of my other videos, domestic violence now is going to increase because they can't move and do what they normally do. But anyway, guys, there's Mr. Copeland there. That's Mr. Still sending your tithes, a.k.a. sending your tithes. All right, y'all, please like and subscribe. Hit that little bell, and I'll see you on the next upload of Can We Talk with Monique. Peace, fam.